Elvis Presley's life was full of passionate romances with some of the most beautiful women of his time. One such affair that captured the attention of the public was his rumored relationship with Ursula Andress, the Bond girl who had a strong desire for the king. However, what made this affair even more intriguing was the concern it caused for Priscilla, Elvis' longtime girlfriend. Despite Elvis' usual preference for sweet and demure women, Ursula's beauty and assertive nature left him out of his comfort zone. Let's take a closer look at the story behind Elvis, Ursula, and Priscilla's complicated love triangle. Elvis Presley showcased his signature hip-thrusting moves alongside numerous leading ladies throughout his acting career. But he was caught off guard by Ursula Andress, who had just achieved immense success as a Bond girl in the film Dr. No. Elvis Presley was a cultural icon whose musical prowess was matched only by his charisma and magnetism. Known for his dynamic stage presence, Elvis also had a reputation for his preferences in women. He tended to gravitate towards sweet, demure figures like Anita Wood or his teenage girlfriend, Priscilla, who seemed to lose his interest after becoming a mother to their daughter, Lisa Marie. Alternatively, he was drawn to sexy and sassy stars like Deborah Paget and Anne Margaret, with whom he shared undeniable on-screen chemistry. In the early 1960s, Elvis found himself working alongside Ursula Andress, a prominent beauty in the film industry at the time. Andress was not one to shy away from expressing her interest in Elvis. Dressed in a bikini and exuding confidence, she presented an alluring figure that left Elvis in unfamiliar territory. Back at home, Priscilla was growing increasingly concerned about the situation. Already feeling insecure about her husband's fidelity, the fact that Elvis was spending time with someone she considered a sex goddess only heightened her anxiety. Adding to her distress was Elvis' reluctance to fully consummate their relationship, a decision that left her feeling both confused and hurt. Although Elvis was known for his strong, passionate relationships with women throughout his career, his encounter with Ursula Andress presented a unique challenge. Caught between the different types of women he usually pursued, Elvis found himself facing an internal conflict. The undeniable allure of Andress' beauty and sensuality pushed him out of his comfort zone, forcing him to confront his own desires and the potential consequences of his actions. Meanwhile, Priscilla struggled to maintain her composure and trust in her husband, as she dealt with the emotional turmoil that arose from his interactions with Andress. As the situation unfolded, both Elvis and Priscilla were forced to confront the complexities of their relationship and the impact of external factors on their marriage. This period in their lives served as a turning point, ultimately shaping the future course of their relationship and their individual growth. In the end, despite the challenges they faced, Elvis and Priscilla's relationship endured for many years. They eventually married in 1967, and although their union ended in divorce in 1973, they continued to share a strong bond through their mutual love for their daughter, Lisa Marie. While Elvis and Priscilla navigated the complexities of their relationship, Ursula Andress continued to make waves in the entertainment world. As a Swiss actress and model, she was widely considered the most attractive woman in the world in 1963. Born on March 19, 1936, in Ostermundigen, Switzerland, she set her sights on Hollywood in 1955, aiming to make a name for herself in the industry. However, it took several years for her career to truly take off. Despite her striking looks and undeniable talent, Ursula faced numerous challenges in her quest for stardom. Her limited English language skills and lack of substantial roles in the American film industry hindered her progress initially. But her perseverance paid off when she was cast as Honey Rider in the 1962 James Bond film, Dr. No. Ursula Andress' iconic emergence from the sea in a white bikini in Dr. No cemented her status as a sex symbol and made her an overnight sensation. The scene, which is now considered one of the most memorable in film history, featured her seductively singing the Calypso song Under the Mango Tree. The white bikini she wore was her own creation, as she had designed and sung it herself. After her breakthrough performance in Dr. No, Ursula Andress continued to act in a variety of film genres, including action, adventure, and comedy. Some of her notable films include Fun in Acapulco, 1963, alongside Elvis Presley, Four for Texas, 1963, with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and the spoof Bond film Casino Royale, 1967, in which she played Vesper Lind. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Ursula Andress continued to captivate audiences with her beauty and acting abilities. She won a Golden Globe for New Star of the Year for her role in Dr. No, and was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1967. Although her career slowed down in the 1980s and 1990s, Ursula's iconic status in the film industry remained intact, and she continued to be a symbol of beauty and glamour for generations to come. Ursula Andress described her initial impression of Elvis Presley by saying, "The only way I knew him was from TV, this new idol, this hip-swinging lover with a guitar. The first day I went to work, he came over, this humble man, full of charm, love in his eyes, and kindness, and being so considerate and warm. I was so surprised." Typically, Elvis was the one to utilize his charm and pursue his co-stars. But according to Sonny West, a close friend of Elvis from the Memphis Mafia, the dynamic was different this time around. Ursula Andress was reportedly the one to express interest in Elvis, rather than the other way around. Sonny West recounted that they were very close. She went after him. She wanted him bad. When teased by Fortas about a potential flirtation with Ursula Andress, Elvis reportedly replied, "No way, son, not with John Derek lurking all over the place. I'd be goddamned if I'd start a conversation with her and see his possessive eyes glaring at me. You know, he gave her a car, and on the steering wheel it said, 'Baby, you're indispensable.' Head over heels in love with her. Never saw anything like it." From the beginning, Elvis Presley had a rule for himself and his Memphis Mafia, which was to never be left alone with a married woman. Sonny West, a close friend of Elvis, revealed that Elvis had instructed them to never leave him alone with Ursula Andress. However, surprisingly, it was Ursula herself who caused Elvis to lose interest in her, rather than her being a married woman. Ursula Andress made Elvis Presley feel self-conscious, not only because she did not fit his usual preference of sweet and deferential women, but also because of her intimidating physical appearance. Elvis reportedly felt embarrassed to take his shirt off in front of Ursula, as he described her as having a body like a man, with no hips and broader shoulders than him. Despite Elvis Presley's resistance, Ursula Andress' own marriage soon encountered problems. The year after they worked together in Fun in Acapulco, Ursula's husband reportedly threw her out of their Los Angeles home due to rumors of her alleged affair with actor Ron Ely. Ursula went on to have public affairs with other actors such as John Richardson and Marcello Mastroianni. In 1965, she officially left her husband, John Derek, for Jean-Paul Belmondo, and their divorce was finalized in 1966. After her divorce from John Derek, Ursula Andress was in a relationship with Jean-Paul Belmondo until 1972, before moving on to Italian actor Fabio Testi in 1973. She then had a relationship with Harry Hamlin, who was 15 years younger than her, in 1979. In the mid-1980s, Ursula had a series of relationships, including Julio Iglesias, before starting a 5-year affair with Fausto Fagone, who was 30 years younger than her. Since the end of that relationship in 1991, Ursula has not been publicly linked with anyone. The love triangle between Elvis Presley, Ursula Andress, and Priscilla was a complicated affair that captured the public's attention. While Ursula's assertive nature and beauty left Elvis feeling self-conscious and outside his usual comfort zone, Priscilla was worried about the strong desire Ursula had for Elvis. Despite this, the king of rock and roll remained true to his rule of never being left alone with a married woman. Ultimately, the affair between Elvis and Ursula did not last, and Ursula went on to have relationships with various other men. Regardless, the story of Elvis, Ursula, and Priscilla remains a fascinating and memorable chapter in the history of Hollywood romance. Do you think Elvis was right to resist Ursula's advances, or do you think he should have pursued a relationship with her? What do you think caused Priscilla's concerns about Ursula's interest in Elvis? Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And if you found this video interesting and want to stay updated on similar topics, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification icon. We'll be sure to keep you in the loop on all the latest news and